Alright, so this is a beginner's tutorial for Ganondoor, also known as the Deku Tree Run Warp. Basically what we're going to be doing is regaining control of Link when this blue warp is trying to take us up to the Kokiri Emerald cutscene, and then make our way to the door you see right here. To begin with, in order to do this, you'll need to either do the Goma double KO or the Goma clip, which aren't going to be covered in this video, but you can check out one of my earlier tutorials for more information about them. First of all is a glitch called Ocarina Items. It allows you to use an item as if it were an ocarina, so dump your bugs and catch them so that the bottle is in Link's hand, and it is a bluish color. And then do a backflip, and in the middle of the backflip, press the button the bottle is on, followed by your sword, before you land. And if you do it correctly, you'll bring the sword up to Link's mouth and be able to play it like an ocarina. Okay, next up is a trick I like to call Z aligning. When you press forward against the wall, stop and hit Z, Link will turn toward the wall so that he's perfectly parallel with it. This is essential to many tricks in the game, and I myself like to prefer to come at the wall at an intentionally bad angle, so it's easier to see when Link turns to face the wall, like this. So there, you can clearly see the angle change. Alright, so now I will show you two different easy versions of Ganondoor. The first one is a pillar method, this pillar right here. Go ahead, pick up the part container if you want, and then Z-align to this wall. Remember to use a bad angle. And while holding Z, position Link on the wall so that the tip of Link's hat matches up with this texture that's right above him. It's white, in between two black line textures. Here in my mouse you can see it. See this white texture? You're going to use that. Alright, so for this trick, you want to side hop to the left, and then press A to roll once without releasing Z. So that looks like this. You see the roll went forward and to the left. Now you do another roll by pressing A, but this time it'll be a normal one. You don't want to touch the control stick when you're doing your rolls. Now that you're here, you're going to do two backflips. But in the middle of the second backflip, you want to perform Ocarina Items. You'll land on the side of the warp and the camera will go all crazy on you. So that'll look like this when it's all put together. Find a spot, side hop, roll, roll, backflip, backflip, and Ocarina Items. Okay, so now the camera is going to go crazy, like that. It'll come back to Link at that spot. When the camera is stopped, you want to hold right on the control stick, and then press B to cancel Ocarina Items. And then Link will begin to move into the warp itself. Now you want to throw your Deku nut around here, hold Z and hold left, and Link will begin sidestepping away from the warp and toward that hump that you see right there. The one that shut down on you, the one where the door shut down on you when you were facing Goma, this hump. So in the middle of one of the side steps, you want to do a side hop to the left. Now where you cross this hump, depending on where you cross this hump after doing this, you'll begin in one of 5 of what we call frames. And I'll be able to show you that. So one of them is frame 1, and you'll come across a hump touching this wall right here. The second one is frame 2, and you'll be in between the wall and this dark spot on the floor. Frame 3 is when you go over this dark spot on the hump. Frame 4 is just ahead of the dark spot. And frame 5 is actually touching the wall right here. So let me show all 5 of them. So right now it looks like we got frame 2. So for frame 2, we want to find this dark spot in the middle of the floor. And then when you're around that dark spot, but not too far to the left of it, you want to Z-align to this wall, stop, and do a 180 by pushing down on the control stick and then pressing Z very quickly. So it'll look like this. Release Z, down, Z again. Now you want to make your way to the door while still holding Z. You want to hold up right so that you get caught in this door, then you stop. You'll notice that Link is shuffling his feet but not moving. You want to stop, release Z, press right, and then hit A very quickly, so that'll look like this. And then you made it into some weird room. I don't know where this is. Let's go out and see. Well, I guess we defeated Ganondoor. Alright. So, frame 3 and 4 are actually very similar to frame 2. They're all the same adjustment after the hump. Just different spots where you come off, where you pass over the hump. So it looks like we got frame 3. So we're going to do the same thing here. Align to the wall, 180, make your way to the door, up right into it, stop, release Z, right A. Let's see if we can get frame 4. Oh, whoops. Sign off. Okay, we got frame 4. So now we just come over to this, one thing I forgot to mention. You want to make sure the hump is off screen and that you're close to this dark spot. I forgot to mention the hump last time. So you want to align to the wall, do a 180, make your way to the door, and go through, just like before. So now let's get frame 1 or frame 5. No, this is going to be early, but you can save that. If you pause once you reach that, then up, then side hop right, and then come into this area. You want to be as if you're going to do a 180, but you're not. So you're facing this wall, you're about to do the 180, but instead you hold Z and press down left. You come into this door at this position, and then you release Z, press left, and press C up. You'll be facing this door with a wood texture, and you want to hold Z and mash A. And that will allow you to go back to the Deku Tree basement and try again. So let's see what we get here. That's frame 2 again. This will be frame 1. So for frame 1, we want to come over to this spot and do the 180. So now we're facing here. So now once you get into this spot of the door, you want to release C, do a 180 here, do a 180 again, and then open the door. And there you go. Now all that's left is frame 5, which I think we're going to get now. No, that's frame 4 again. This might be too late. Yes. You can sometimes save frames that are late as that with the trick that I just showed you. That's going to be too late. That's too late. That's also too late. Okay, so we came across a hump right at the wall. So instead of, so prepare to do the 180, but don't actually do it. Hold Z and walk backwards against this wall. So Link stops, like, at this position. Then you want to release Z while still holding down. Press it again, just like you would for any other 180. Then make your way to the door and open normally. And you'll make it. And that is all of the 5 frames. Okay, so this next method is what I call the 8 backflips method. You want to align on this wall back here. Remember to do it at an intentionally bad angle, like I mentioned. So there we go, we got it. Okay, so once you've Z-aligned to the wall, you want to side hop left into this corner and do a roll immediately, while holding Z, of course. That ensures you're perfectly into this corner. Now do 7 backflips so that Link heads toward the warp. It's best to flick the control stick when you're doing your backflips, not hold it. Now, if you look, you're still holding Z all this time, but if you look in the top right corner of the screen, you don't see any blue up there. You see blue in the bottom right, but not the top right. And if you see any blue up there, you likely did your backflips incorrectly, and I recommend trying it again. Now on your 8th backflip, do Ocarina Items into the warp. The camera will go crazy like normal, and then stop on Link right here. And then once it stops, you want to hold right on the control stick and cancel Ocarina Items with B like normal. And Link will walk around to this area. And if I can slow down the game, there we go. Okay. One more. Okay, there we go. You see around that area a darker texture making a line across the floor. After Link passes that darker texture, you want to throw the Deku nut. You can also use the door that we go through that I've shown you in the other steps. That brown door at the back there, the one that we opened to go to Ganondoor. You can use that as a cue. Now if we speed it back up, so hold right, cancel, not around here. And there are no side hops in this method. So this method actually has 7 frames in which you can get it, but after the blue line, or after the dark line, are the best frames to get. So I like to only show those 4. So right now I got what I call frame 1. You want to, well, first of all, let me show you what the frames are. So on this dark spot is frame 89, or frame 1. Just in front of it is frame 2. Just ahead of that is frame 3. And touching this wall is frame 4. Okay, so I got frame 4. So I want to find a dark spot, align to this wall, Then do the back walk against the wall 180. And then go through the door. And there we are. Okay, so this time I got frame 91. So you want to come over to the door and then do the 180. And you'll get it. I got frame 91 again. Or frame 3, sorry. Same frame again. Okay, I got frame 1 there. Let's just do this again. Come over here. Do a turnaround. Do a backwalk turnaround. And then do a turnaround again. And then open the door. Hopefully I can get frame 2. Yes, I got frame 2. So for this one, you want to be to the right of the dark spot, then do the 180. Okay, so I've shown you frame 1, 2, 3, and 4. But what happens if you get frames behind that? Since I'm splitting this into 7 now, these are now different frame numbers, so keep mind of that. If you come across the hump at touching this wall on the very edge of the hump, that's frame 1. If you come ahead just in front of the wall, that's frame 2. Just behind this spot is frame 3. On the spot, frame 4. Ahead of it, frame 5. Closer to the wall, frame 6. And touching the wall, frame 7. So let's see if I can get you that one. That was bad movement on my part. Bad movement again. Oh, what am I doing? I'm side hopping. Or no, side hops here. Okay, so I got frame 2 there. Maybe that was a little too fast. Okay, I got frame 1. So for frame 1, you can do a few different things, but I like to do this. Turn once here, turn backwalk turn here, turn again here, then backwalk turn again. Then do a backwalk turn here. And you're in the perfect position. Okay, so I got frame 2 there. That was just ahead of the wall. So what you can do here is similar to frame 1, except you just cut out the last step. So 180 here, backwalk 180 here, and then 180 here. And there you go. Maybe frame 1 would be easier if I showed you. Nope, that's frame 2. Frame 2 again. Frame 1 is pretty hard to get. Keep getting frame 2. Okay, here's frame 1. So find a wall, 180, 1, 180. And then you come over here. Z. Sorry. Okay, now for frame 3. Okay, perfect. I got frame 3 first try. So for this one, you want to turn 180 here, and come over here, do a backwalk 180, and then a normal 180. And I think that covers everything you need to know about the 8 backflips and the pillar method. Like I mentioned, if you ever mess up your movement or you simply aren't sure, you just come to this door, get into position. You can be facing either way, either this way or this way, it doesn't matter. But look toward the door and immediately hit C up, and hold Z and press A. And then you'll be back in the Deku Tree basement if you did everything correctly. Common mistakes I see for new Ganondoor users. One, not waiting for the camera to stop panning around the warp and coming back to Link before canceling Ocarina Items. 2, taking too long to cancel Ocarina Items so that Link or the camera rotates like this. You have about 2 seconds. So if it rotates like this. Another one, not holding a direction until after canceling Ocarina Items. You need to be holding the direction before to cancel it so that it looks like this. If it looks like this, you did it incorrectly. Another one, if you don't hold straight right or straight left, Link will go off in another direction, maybe something like this, I don't know, and then it won't work no matter what you do. Next one, stopping on the hump, because the warp is still loaded when you're at the hump. Number 2, side hopping on top of the hump, because that changes the amount of frames that the warp is loaded for, and it won't work. One thing that I forgot to mention, the curving after you leave the warp, maybe something like that. If you notice that at all, it won't work. Sometimes it's due to the controller that you use, but most official controllers for this game will have notches in them that allow you to hold straight right or straight left, straight up, straight down, up right, up left, down right, down left. Next, releasing Z. If you release Z while in the corridor, when you're far away from the hump, that's okay, but you need to recenter the camera on Link so that it stops moving before you do the 180. Next one is you need to be sure to do your Z aligns properly. So if you do the 180 like this, it won't work. Like that. Next one, actually this is a good spot. So right now I'm not Z aligned. may look like I'm aligned, but you can see the texture. Due to the texture, black line at Link's feet, you can tell that it's not. If you're ever in doubt, do it multiple times against the wall. But as I mentioned, if you Z-align, if you don't Z-align in 180 at the, if you don't Z-align and then try to 180, it won't work. Next one, the control stick should not be held during side hops or backflips. Only flicked, because you risk moving unknowingly. So if you hold right and side hop, you'll notice that Link, if you would notice, Link moved a little between the side hops. And you could barely see it, right? That would not work, so only flick so that it looks like this. Not like this. Same thing goes for backflips. So that would look like this. Flicking. Not like this, in which you're simply holding it. Remember, only flick. Last one. You can't release Z for too long before you open the door. So if it's out like this for too long, remember, hold Z and wait for it to center back on Link before trying again. Release, right A. Next one, or last one actually, no, one more after this. If you get a black screen after you've gone through the door, and you think you've done it correctly, but you've gotten the black screen and rumbling in the background, you actually did it correctly, but you might have saved and quit the game between beating the Deku tree and doing the trick. In basic terms, for Ganondoor to work, you have to complete the Deku tree entirely in one sitting without resetting, or saving and quitting and resetting. That can be achieved by either the Goma double KO or the Goma clip, as I mentioned. Final one. There is a chance that you can activate a different angle when you're doing your 8 backflips. So that looks like this. Oh, whoops. Okay. You'll notice it after the camera stops panning. And it'll come back to Link at this position. And you may think you did it incorrectly, but what you actually did was that you released Z and pushed up on the wall just once. That simple movement, that simple push, is enough to throw the entire trick into a different angle. Luckily, there is a way to recover from that, but to stop it from happening in the first place, you want to Z-align, roll into the wall, and never release Z again, and you can push forward on the control stick all you want. And it'll never do it. Never give you the wrong angle unless you release Z. So again, that will cause the weird angle. So let's go over the weird angle. So it's similar to this one, in which Link is facing right, but now Link is facing left. So for right, instead of holding right and canceling, you want to hold left and canceling. Throw the Deku Nut right about, if I can show it in slow motion. You'll see that the hump begins right about here. You want to throw the nut in when you see Link pass this area, right about where the hump is about to begin. And then I'll speed it up and show you the different frames that you can get. So that is frame 2, and it's actually the easiest frame of any Ganondoor. You just hold Z, come into this area, hold it up against the door while holding Z, and press A. And you get it. Now let's do another frame. Okay, so you came behind a dark spot on the hump. Now this is frame 92. What you can do for this frame is basically come into this side of the wall. Wait, I accidentally did something, sorry. Okay. Okay, that's frame 2 again. We came over the dark spot. So we come to the door, hold up, hold Z, press A. And we got it. Luckily, that's actually the easiest frame to get. Okay, so we went behind the dark spot. So we come over to here. We find the dark spot on this floor, in this hallway. Then we align to the wall. Come over here and do the 180. And then do a backwalk 180. And now you can open the door like normal. Okay, so this next one will require a little bit of slowdown, so I can show you exactly what happens. And maybe a little too late. No, okay, no, it is. Okay, so remember, seeing right, that is frame 2. Nope, that won't work. If Link goes straight right and doesn't curve at all, that's not gonna work. Okay, so this should be frame 1. Okay, so you notice that Link caught himself for just a second on the wall there, and then he continued moving. It was kind of hard to catch. Let me do it in full speed so that you can catch it again. No, that's not gonna work. Nope, this is frame 2. Not gonna work. Okay, there. You notice that Link caught himself on the wall for a split second, and then kept moving. Okay, so now that you're in this hall, you want to Z-align to this wall. Make sure you're to the left of the dark spot. Then backwalk 180 right here. Then make your way to the door. Do another 180. And that will get you Ganondoor. And then the last one is some people like doing this method. I don't, because I honestly find it too inconsistent for new beginners. Instead of holding right after the 8 backflips, you would hold down, then listen to Link's footsteps until he makes 4 footsteps, the sounds he makes when he steps. Then you want to nut, Z target and left, and then do 2 side hops before between the time that you leave the warp and then you exit when you get to the hump. So that may look like this. 1, 2. And then you come over here, align to the wall, do a 180, and I did this correctly, so this should work. Then open the door normally. Reason why I don't like that too, a lot of people find it inconsistent. Let's do it again. There, I did it perfectly again. Align, turn, 180, door. So let's quickly go over the frames again. This is the pillar method. That will not work. This is frame 2. Frames 2 and 3 are very similar. So you align to this wall near the dark spot. 180. That's it. Frame 2 again. Frame 3, you went over the dark spot. And this is the same adjustment as frame 2 and 4. That's frame 4, same adjustment. Oh, whoops. Accidentally pressed the wrong one there. That's frame 4 again. This is frame 5. So clear the hump, get near the dark spot. Do a backwalk 180. And make your way to the door. Alright, so now is the 8 backflips method while holding right. Okay, I got frame 90. Let me go over the steps quickly again. Cancel in right, not in this area, and I got 92 on this one. Or frame 4, sorry. That's actually frame 7, but whatever. Frame 7. Align. Oh, whoops. I must not be aligned correctly. There we go. Then backwalk 180. Make your way to the door. That's not, that is frame 5, I think. That should be frame 5. It's right in front of the dark spot. So you turn, after clearing the hump, to the right of the dark spot. Right A. This is frame 4. So you come over here, 180, backwalk 180, 180. Okay, that's frame 5 again. Okay, that's frame 6. So you just come over to the door and do 180. And that covers the easier parts of the backflip. One thing I don't recommend for beginners is to actually use this method. Do not use this method, in which you would backwalk, jump in this area, Ocarina Items into the warp, because it's just too variable. Not recommended for new beginners. And I think that actually covers everything I wanted to cover about the tutorial. Let's see, we covered the 8 backflips holding right. We covered the pillar method. We covered the weird angle of the 8 backflips. We covered Ocarina Items. We covered Z-lining. We covered the movement in the hall here. We covered opening the door correctly. I think that is it. Well, we also covered the down method of the 8 backflips. And I think that is it. Please let me know if you have any other questions, as I'm constantly trying to improve my tutorials for new beginners. Ask me if you have any questions or if you're not sure of anything. Thank you. Bye-bye.